defined in International Covenant of Civil and People's Rights by the United Nations in 1966. Article 21 of African Charter, 1981, in Banjul, Gambia. And then Nigeria ratified the African Charter and domesticated it in 1983. And so now it has become a Nigerian law, part of our domestic laws. So why is Nigeria having goose pimples when people rise up to fight for equality? When people rise up to demand equal treatment? Why does Nigeria develop goose pimples? Why is Nigeria finding it intolerant to allow people to express themselves, which only calls for opportunity for dialogue? When an ethnic nationality stands up and says, we are not being treated fairly in this federation, it calls for dialogue. Nigeria should be responsible enough to be able to call them to and find out exactly what is the problem so as to adjust. Because there has never been a time ethnic nationalities in Nigeria met together and said, we want to form a nation. Nigeria was foisted on every one of us by the British colonial authority. And then they created 3 regions, North, East, and West. Now, in 1963, Nigeria, there was a plebiscite that created the 4th region, which is the Midwest. When did Nigeria meet to decide that we are going to be 4 regions? And when did Nigeria meet to decide that we are no more 4 regions, we are now 6 geographical regions? So these are issues that, and if you, Nigeria should know, in international law, there's what we call pacta sunt servanda. Pacta sunt servanda is found in Article 26 of the Treaty of Versailles, which states that agreement must be obeyed. Article 26 says, once a treaty comes into force, all parties to that treaty must abide by the treaty in utmost good faith. Article 18 of the same Treaty of Versailles, it says that no nation who is a party to a treaty should take any step, be it administrative or legislative step, to scuttle or to thwart or to suffocate the intent and purpose of that treaty. That is exactly what Nigeria is doing. Nigeria is signatory to all United Nations human rights treaties that endorses self-determination, and yet domestically they cannot hear the word self-determination. They are in breach of the obligations under Article 18 and 26 of the Treaty of Versailles of 1969.
Right. Thank you so much for that detail. Today, can he wrestle his followership from Simon Ekpa?
There's a division because of the arrest and detention. So Simon Ekpa felt that he has to carry on the struggle now that the leader has been taken in. That is it. So if he's released today, it is likely, very likely, that he has to come to terms with Simon Ekpa to back down. Simon Ekpa is only acting because of his absence. He didn't say that he has overthrown him. Even when he wrote a letter from DSS custody directing that there should be no more sit at home and there should be no more arms against the state, Simon Ekpa said until he comes out physically that he will not believe that he wrote that under duress.
Of course.
That he wrote it, you cannot freely write something in this DSS. When you are in custody, you now write something. It is not voluntary. So it is on that basis that he continued doing what he's doing. Simon Ekpa is the disciple of Nnamdi Kanu and a very dedicated, loyal disciple. I believe that if Nnamdi Kanu comes out, he will be able to tame Simon Ekpa. And many of these criminals that have cast into the struggle or kind of tried to hide under IPOB to commit atrocities, they will be fished out or they will be controlled. Remember that this man, Nnamdi Kanu, people listen to him. So if he comes now and declares a truce, I believe that it will work. And those who try to violate that truce will easily be fished out. They will be sidelined. They'll be exposed. Now, people are picking up arms out of resistance or protest to his extraordinary rendition. That is it. Before he was extraordinarily renditioned, there was no spate of violence like we see after his arrest. So it is a kind of protest against the way the state has treated him. So I believe that if it should come out now, all that will abate. But let me also say that the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is not entitled to be listening to one person or the other as to whether or not he will exercise his powers under the Constitution. Section 174 of the Constitution, subsection 3, like my learned friend pointed out earlier, only gave 3 conditions for the exercise of the power of withdrawal of criminal prosecution. It says that the Attorney General should only give vent to 3 factors. One is public interest. The second one is interest of justice. The third one, to ensure that such withdrawal is not against due process of law. And then we are talking about justice here. Interest of justice. It is on that basis the president must act, no matter what any of his commissioners thinks, no matter what any Southeast governors think, in the interest of justice. Because if you can release the chairman or leader of Miatala that has been saying all kind of terrible things against Nigerian state, you release him, you withdraw his charge and he goes home, and then you release Showore and he goes home, you release Sunday Igboho, withdraw his charge and he goes home. Then where is justice? Where is equity?